Hi, and this is EDL 852 Module 1, School Level Governance, Fiscal Responsibilities of School Principals, and I am Mercedes or Sadie Kamek. General demographics about myself. Maybe. I currently live in Douglas, Kansas with my husband Travis, my son John Wayne, and daughter Clara. We have a small farm with horses, dogs, cats, chickens, ducks, and cows. We enjoy rodeoing as a family, along with our barn sales, selling antiques, and the renovation of our 1947 diner. Teaching background, I am entering my 13th year of teaching this year. Actually, it's almost over. I've taught 5th grade for 9 years, taught 4th grade for 1. This will be my 2nd year of teaching 4th grade. I taught art for 2 years and currently teaching 4th grade. Critical analysis. School level governance, the summary for this, allocation of funding needs to be done at the school level, as it is important to allocate funding for what the school actually needs, as each school is unique and has different needs. Along with principals making allocation decisions, teams of teachers can also be created to assist in making decisions on where the funds are being allocated. When this happens, school priorities are taken into account and the spending is more efficient. How does this theme support student achievement success? Principals know what students need and or what they are lacking in. How is this theme data informed? Or was this? Yes, spending data is showing equity, spending trade-offs, and the link between money and school outcomes. This data is often overlooked. However, school boards need to utilize the data when deliberating the annual budget. How did this theme address equitable school resource plans? Funding formulas should be adjusted and districts should be given more control over their spending. How did this theme address laws, policies, and regulations? Policies and practices are unexamined, but spending patterns come from policies and practices. These policies need to be adjusted. Identifying the things you have or have not seen your school principal do. And why do you think they do this? I believe that in our building, we need more school level governance. I don't feel as though our principal allocates for our spending and needs to be a stronger voice in regards to funds. Currently, we are not allowed to print with white paper as there is no money to purchase additional paper. I feel that this is a serious need for elementary schools and our principal needs to make sure that the spending is efficient. I think that she doesn't do this as much as she should in fear that she's already pushing for too many things in our building. Student and adult success and well-being. Due to cuts in school funding, classrooms are being affected the most. There are fewer programs being offered and the class sizes are increasing. Student success, in turn, is being negatively affected. How does this theme support student success? Student achievement and success are negatively impacted as not as many options are available for students due to budget cuts. How is this theme data informed? Based on the Learning Policy Institute, students benefit from more school funding. So the data shows that we need more school funding. How did this theme address equitable school resource plans? Equity and adequacy of outcomes will be improved if the allocation is more equitable and adequate. Student outcomes are positively affected when a more equitable distribution system is created and utilized. While possible to have an equitable funding model, it is important to know what the overall improvement strategy consists for resource use and allocation. A school portfolio strategy needs to be equitable, transparent, and flexible. Student and adult success and well-being continued. How did this theme address laws, policies, and regulations? In regards to student-based budgeting, district policies have to be adjusted along with the cultural shift. With these adjustments, students will be given the best opportunity to succeed as a vision will be made regarding where the principal finds funding to be most beneficial. Identify the things that you have or have not seen your school principal do. Why do you think this is so? Within our building, I feel as though our principal is lacking in regards to making a plan that is best for our students and teachers. We are not allowed certain items throughout the year, and we are cut off from materials as the year progresses. Our budget team notes are not shared and should be, along with taking our advice on what we find necessary for student and adult success. While we haven't taken away positions and our class sizes are appropriate, materials important for success are lacking. I believe that she isn't fighting for the materials as she is afraid to push so many agendas in one year. Data-informed decisions. Summary. Data-driven decisions need to be made and shown to the public so that everyone understands the spending plans. When funding is gone, there is no more. It is important to have data-driven decisions as the numbers show the truth. Comparing the data to other schools is also an important task, as each principal should be making sure students are receiving their fair share. How does this theme support student achievement success? When allocating funds, data-driven decisions should be made. These decisions should be made to best support the district's overall goals and improve student achievement. How are these themed data informed? All account and data should be obtained in order to make decisions regarding allocations. This data should reflect what plan has been chosen for the allocations, and if not, allocations should be adjusted accordingly. All data should be easily generated and used for future references. Continued. How did this theme address equitable school resource plans? Strategic school funding for results is aimed at improving school finance. With the use of data analysis, schools will be trained to implement their funding and evaluate their success. With the use of the data obtained, schools will be able to see if the allocations decided upon are best for students and if the allocations show that it's actually working. How did this theme address laws, policies, and regulations? Under the Every Student Succeeds Act, parents and administrators are going to be given comparative data showing how much funding their school is receiving and being spent per pupil. Identify the things that you have seen or not seen your principal do. When looking at data in our district, I don't feel that I'm aware as a teacher of any of the allocations. In regards to data, our principal does not share data-driven decisions with the staff, so I can't say whether data-driven decisions are made or if they are not. I feel that this is something our principal should be sharing with the staff and parents. Equitable Resources Plan. Equitable Resources Plan must be created to ensure all students are getting the same experience and that the resources are allocated equitably. Creating an equitable resource plan is one of the biggest challenges in a district, as it may be difficult to allocate funds in a way that is not a one-size-fits-all approach. With these types of approaches, not all students' needs are met. How did this theme support student achievement? Projects such as strategic school funding are created to ensure all schools are being held accountable for student outcomes. With an equitable resource plan, students are given the opportunity to attend programs that meet their unique needs. How is this theme data informed? Without data, resource plans can't be equitable, as no data is there to support its equitable outcome. A plan is simply a plan without data to support its equitability. Equitable resource plan. Continued. How did this theme address equitable school resource plans? Resource plans must be equitable in order for them to address all the needs of the children in the school. With that being said, a plan must be in place by the school that is considering all students and all of their needs. With this plan in place, resources stated that will be needed to make sure all students' needs are met. Allocations can be made to meet these needs, and then finally, equitability can be measured. How did this theme address laws, policies, and regulations? Policies have to be in place and adjusted when needed in order to make sure resource plans are equitable for all students. Identify the things that you have or have not seen your school principal do. I have not seen our principal have any say in this matter, nor has she shared district information regarding our resource plans. I'm not saying that she doesn't, I just have not seen that personally. Finance laws, policies, and regulations. All districts need to have policies in place regarding allocations. In conjunction with finance laws, the policies should be clear, equitable, and regulated. Through many states, financial systems are operated by district officials and money is spent in the wrong areas. Along the same lines, school districts are typically in charge of making the spending decisions, and it is a one-size-fits-all model, which does not benefit every school or every student. Funding formulas need to be adjusted, and requirements on where money is spent needs to be lessened. How does this theme support student achievement success? Student achievement is the main goal with all things related to education. In finance, allocations need to be the same. Students will not succeed if policies are not in place and the money is not being spent in the areas that are needing it most. School board members and principals need to be trained in finance and know what they are spending the money on within their schools. How is this theme data informed? Data has shown that money is being spent where it isn't necessarily needed the most. A lot of the articles talked about they are spending it on different programs and funding in different areas where it's showing no improvement for the school. Continued. How did this theme address equitable school resource plans? Resource plans must be in place for schools to be successful. Principals should have a say in where the money is being spent within their buildings. Board members need to not only follow state, local, and federal laws, but they must also create a resource plan that will ensure the best possible outcome for students in their district. And this plan needs to be followed when allocations take place. How did this theme address laws, policies, and regulations? Many districts are afraid to disrupt the status quo. Every Student Succeeds Act will adjust who sees where dollars are spent and could share information regarding spending with parents and staff, allowing others to see where the money is going. Identify the things that you have or have not seen your school principal do. As far as I know, our principal has not shared any information regarding finance, laws, policies, or regulations with our staff or families in the district, as I do have children in the school and I have no idea where the money is being spent. I believe that she doesn't have much say in the matter, which is why the information is not shared. Additional themes or important information I found that I think are going to be helpful in the future. I found the information on the site of that name, Shakarina, that it was regarding accounting tools. And I thought that was really helpful. In that article, they gave a variety of accounting tools, which I think later is going to be extremely important when extracting data and building reports. The software programs, as you see, Xero, Finax, AP Accounting, FreshBooks, BMSI Financial Software System, Infor, Sun Systems, Chalkable Financial Management, and Sage. This page and the information will be helpful in the future. Educational leaders. The article Educational Leaders gave great advice on questions to ask before attending board meetings, which I found helpful for future leadership positions. This site also gave great information regarding operational funding, which covers a school's running costs, and staffing entitlements, which the ministry pays the salaries of the teachers a school employs through this entitlement. Here are my citations. And finally, my critical reflection. What did I learn that I didn't know before? This assignment was very eye-opening to many new concepts. I have always known there were budgets. However, I wasn't aware of who was in charge of all the allocations. I've been teaching for quite a while and still this was new to me today over this course of this assignment, not just today. Once I started reading the articles, it is apparent that our district is not sharing the information freely on what is being spent or how much is going to what program, activity, materials, etc. I know that from my first job, I remember seeing a budget form of some sort. I didn't pay attention to it necessarily as it was like my first job. Anyway, but now that I haven't seen it, now I'm a little concerned as to why I haven't been seeing a budget. I also found it rather interesting that principals really don't have much say in where the money is being spent within their buildings. I'm sure other districts may, but in ours, they do not, when this is the person who should know the building the best and know what is needed. How will this assignment influence the decisions I will make as a future school leader? I believe that I will not only be a voice for my building, but I'll also want to share the budget with my staff. I'll make sure that they do know and have seen the budget. Even if they don't pay attention to it, they can at least have access to it. Along with this, I'll make sure to fight for my students' needs. This assignment also prepared me with questions to ask the board when deciding upon allocations of funds, which will also be beneficial as a future school leader. I will make sure to realize that school has an aspect of a business, and I will make sure to respect that while making conscious decisions based on that knowledge. What concerns do I have about being in charge of a school's budget as a future school leader? Just like in being in charge of any money, I have many concerns regarding the budget. I know that the money isn't endless, and making sure it is spent correctly will be a large decision. I'm also concerned about making the decisions alone. So I would want to have a team along with a data system that could show whether the money was being spent correctly and if students were succeeding based on the money being spent. I hope to have enough financial literacy that I'm able to respond and answer questions when data results are gathered. And thank you very much for listening.